Well, we're starting off the week pretty good. Got a package in. This actually was held up a little bit in the mail, but that's a whole different story. Let's start as we always do with what's in my pocket. I am on day 8 of the 30-day challenge. I've carried this knife, but on the weekend I do pair it with something else. This is a 56 GEC pattern knife, and this here is a knife that I know a lot of you have seen around here recently, and it's caught a lot of attention here. But I passed on this knife. Well, actually, I passed on the first version of the knife, and then when the second version of the knife came out, I wasn't even aware that it dropped because I was working. But I was lucky enough to find a guy that was selling the knife, and it was at a pretty fair price. So I decided to go ahead and pick it up. And it looks like he's got it taped up. Knife was excellently packaged, by the way. All right, that took long enough. So what we have here is the Manix 2. Let's see, let's get that closer. The Manix 2, and this one here is specifically the natural G10 Black DLC or Jade G10 Black DLC version of the knife. So this was an exclusive for, I believe it was Blade HQ. Yeah, this was an exclusive for Blade HQ. I'm not sure how many they ran, but I wanted to pick it up because the steel on this knife is M4. And if you don't know anything about M4, M4 is a tool steel that has great impact resistance, holds a very decent edge, but it's much more durable than your regular kind of stainless steel. So it's my favorite non-stainless steel. It's my favorite tool steel. This steel is actually used a lot in competition choppers, cutters, because like I said, that impact resistance and the ability to stay sharp. So just a good all-around steel. This is apparently brand new out of the box. You can see here, it drops free. Let's see, let's get this more focused. It is amazingly centered. You can see here that the blade, as I already mentioned, is DLC coated black. The screws, the locking mechanism, the pocket clip, and the liners are all black. So this knife is all blacked out, and this backspacer here. One kind of cool thing is this texturing is actually pretty good. I like this knife a lot. I'm pretty happy I bought it. I haven't been a big fan of this. I believe this is their ball lock mechanism. I could be wrong, correct me down below. But I've never been a huge fan of this mechanism here, but it's grown on me, and I definitely would put up with it for some M4 steel in a package like this. Now, I know everybody's not familiar with the Manix. Possibly everybody hasn't owned a Manix 2. So I brought out some other knives for comparison, and this here is the Delica. So you can kind of see here the size difference between the two knives. This is a Paramilitary 3. So you can see here the size difference. And I had this knife, and I'm really thinking if somebody out there has a Maximet Paramilitary 2, we might need to talk. I might be interested in trading because I don't see myself keeping this one around. But anyway, that's a different story. And we have the Paramilitary 2. So you can see here, it lines up pretty well to the Paramilitary 2. The blades are about the same length. The cutting edge is a little bit better on the Paramilitary 2. However, you have a little bit extra handle on the Paramilitary 2. So good all-around work knife. I'm looking forward to putting this knife to some use and just enjoying the M4 steel. Now, as I mentioned, M4 is a tool steel, so it will rust. You need to make sure you keep a knife like this dry. I don't put too much oil on my knives, but I know some people, because of their body chemistry or because they live close to salt water or something like that, or they carry it in wet environments, damp environments, they can have rust issues. I typically don't have rust issues, so I don't put a lot of oil on my blades, but M4 is a steel that will rust if you don't take care of it. So that's just a side note. I appreciate you guys watching. Wanted to share my new knife with you all. And remember, a lazy man carries a dull knife.